Everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right, I'd like to call this Monday, December 15th, School Committee Business Meeting to order. Mrs. Yell, will you take the roll, please?
Mia Reardon.
I'm here.
Juliet Walker.
Present.
Sarah Hall.
Here.
Brian Callahan.
Here.
Brianna Higgins.
Here.
Kathleen Shaw.
Here.
Andrew Bolger.
Here. All right, can we stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Flag is back there. Trust me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'd like to turn the meeting over to Vice Chair Walker.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. First item on our agenda is public comment. Is there anyone here to speak to public comment? All right, and I don't see anyone on Zoom. All right, so there'll be no public comment this evening. Next is the approval of the warrant. Mr. Callahan?
Yep,
For the last time.
For the last.
last time. I move that the following named bills of the Newburyport Public Schools amounting in the aggregate $586,735.66 be approved and forwarded to the city auditor for payment. There are no conflicts.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Everyone received a copy via email? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The Vice Chair votes aye. Thank you, Mr. Callahan. Meeting minutes for December 1st, 2025. I'll take a motion to approve, and then I have a suggestion.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Minutes look great. I do think under the discussion related to the MCAS presentation, I felt that it would be important to also just note that there was discussion around opportunities for improvement. So the wording that I would suggest there is, I went back and looked at the tape to make sure that I wasn't misrepresenting, but Member Boger had suggested, had expressed concern about MCAS scores in math and ELA for elementary grades and encouraged staff to focus on improving performance in identified need areas by considering a similar approach applied in the NOC to improve math skills. And the reason I'm recommending that is I think we had a subsequent conversation around that. We talked about a lot of things, but that in particular was an observation that I think will inform the budget, and there was some back and forth with staff. We don't have to record all that for the purpose of the minutes, but I think because it is something that I think will impact our conversations around the budget, I thought it would be important to note that in particular. I don't know if anyone has any further questions about that or discussion. And I did talk to Mr. Boger beforehand, so you guys gonna put it on the spot. All right. So, Ms. Yell, I can get you the specific wording that I read. Mm-hmm. Okay. Any other discussion or comments? All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
And the Vice Chair votes aye. Any opposed? Okay. So minutes are approved as amended. And then the school committee student representative report, they're not here this evening, but we have, I think, Mr. Callahan, are you going to read it for us? No. You were joking? All right, so we don't have a representative report tonight. So the next item is the recap of the fall athletics.
All right, I'd like to call up new athletic director Anna DeVito to kind of give us a recap of the fall sports season. You have all the information, the highlights of the season, but I also have Ms. DeVito put together some pictures as she goes along.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for letting me join you tonight. I appreciate, oh, thank you. Oh, very nice. I am not tech savvy, so thank you. Thank you so much for letting me join you tonight. I'm Anna DeVito. I just want to start off by saying how glad I am to be at Newburyport. Recapping and just trying to think about what I wanted to say tonight, I felt like it was really important for me to preference that when I started. I came from a school, I was there for 4 years, and I felt like I had gotten my groove there. And I was worried about how that would feel coming here, but I don't even, I just feel like I'm a Clipper now. I don't think about my old school, which to me signifies that I made the right decision, and I think I'm really happy to be here. It's been an awesome fall, so I just wanted to express my gratitude. The fall was really, really busy, but it was very successful. I feel like I need to just highlight some of our stats first. Athletics, I call kind of the enigma. It's kind of like the cloud. There's so much going on, and it can kind of get, confusing. There's a lot of sports, so just to highlight, we had 21 teams in the fall. 80% participation rate in fall athletics alone, 541 student athletes. That's a lot. So it's pretty impressive what they do. I always say that being a student athlete is hard, and then being, playing your sport, if you're a captain and you have your academics, it's just really impressive what these students do. So I just feel like it's really important to highlight all the incredible things they did this fall. So just kind of going in order, our cheerleaders placed first in the Cape Ann League competition for the co-ed lead. We had a first team all-star. They qualified for the regional competition, which was the first time they've done that in 4 years. So it's pretty impressive. Our cross-country boys and girls remain undefeated, both Cape Ann League champions. The girls finished 5th in the divisional meet. The boys finished 7th. Both teams qualified for the MIA All-State meet, which, to put in a little bit more detail, it's anyone in the entire state, so all divisions. So pretty impressive to do that. Senior Mike Mahoric finished 2nd overall in the entire state. He was the Cape Ann Runner of the League. Don Henniger was also the Cal Coach of the Year and a Wall of Fame inductee. We had 4 girl side Cal League All-Stars and 3 boy All-Stars. So our cross-country team is pretty consistent and pretty strong all the way through. Our golf team was also Cape Ann League champions. They finished in 4th place. Jack O'Real, who is a junior, was the golfer of the year. He qualified as an individual for the sectional tournament. He placed 12th out of 102. So pretty impressive there as well. And then Mike Guthrie was Cal Coach of the Year. Field hockey made it to the round of 16 in the tournament. They also moved up a division. So when you move up a division, you're essentially playing larger schools. We were probably one of the smaller ones in Division 2. So just to preference how impressive that really is. Riley Lombard was Cape Ann League Player of the Year. We had 3 first-team Cal All-Stars and 1 second-team Cal All-Star. Our football team played in the 102nd rivalry football game. We had 1 first-team Cal All-Star and 1 second-team Cal League All-Star. Our volleyball girls made it to the round of 8. It was probably the most exciting Sweet 16 match to advance them I've ever seen. It was very impressive the entire time. I had no idea who was going to win, and I feel like that's the epitome of sports, that it leaves you so entertained. We had 2 first-team All-Stars, and Gabby Vigiant was selected to play in the MIA All-State game. Our girls soccer were also Cape Ann League champions. They made it to the MIA round of 16 in the Division 2 tournament. They are the ALS Cup champions. They are undefeated in this event that we do with the boys in Pentucket. It's kind of become this huge tradition. We raised over $7,000 for ALS. And they've been undefeated in that. It was an incredible game. We had 4 first-team Cal All-Stars and 1 second-team Cal All-Stars. Boys soccer also won the ALS Cup. They made it to the round of 32 in the state tournament. We had 1 first-team Cal All-Star and 4 second-team Cal All-Star, and Coach Sean Blue secured his 150th win as a Clipper head coach. And finally, we had 6 student athletes commit to play collegiately next year. 1 at Union College, Suffolk University, Trinity College, St. Anselm College, Connecticut College, and DeSales University. And we have about 3 more that are still waiting to get their final offer that will also be committed student athletes. So pretty successful, and we only have 1 season under our belt so far. So if you ever get a chance to come by and watch these athletes perform, it's pretty impressive what they do. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Any questions for the athletic director? I do have a question. Are all our teams now in Division 2?
No, it's Division 2 and 3. It's based on enrollment. The alignment happened last February. To be quite honest, sometimes it makes no sense. The alignment process with Mayor Reardon's nodding his head. It was designed for private schools, basically not to dominate the tournament. It's kind of hurt public schools that fall in the middle, like Newburyport, that's kind of around that 800 mark. So half are Division 2, some are still in Division 3.
Are you fully staffed at this point for the next season?
Fully staffed. We're all ready to go.
Good, awesome. Any other questions for the athletic director?
Well, I hope I see you guys at some games.
Well, I'll just say, we're glad you're here too.
Oh,
You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for coming. Appreciate
Oh, I'm so sorry. One last thing. I forgot to shout out my media student, Jake Blinderman, who he had to throw his picture in here. But, that's him at the state football game, but he does all our graphics on social media. So just need to highlight again how impressive our students are.
Yeah, Jake's great.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item is capital improvement program.
All right. Pull this up, please.
So I think it's the same.
So mine's not nearly as fun as Anna's was.
No t-shirts either. So.
No. So we're looking at our next CIP for the next coming up for 2027 to 2031. Most of the stuff in here we've all seen before. Still trying to get a lot of this stuff put through and get done. So the first one up is the renovation and the masonry repairs of the school at the high school. So we have the stairs that are falling apart in the back. A lot of the concrete is falling and cracking. Out front, we have the issues with the ramps and the stairs. This year, we did get some CIP money from the city to do a survey of the entire school with Rimkus Engineering, who just came out about a month and a half ago and did their entire site visit. We spent about 2 days with them going through the entire school, interior, exterior, around the whole grounds, everywhere. They're still putting their reports together, and we're going back and forth on a lot of that, on how that's going to look and how we're going to be able to get that out and present it to all you coming up in the future. So this was, again, something we've been looking at for this year. This is going to be a 3-year project. Hopefully we can get it pushed through so we can systematically go through and get a lot of these repairs done.
Or do you want to ask them at the end?
Yep.
Do you guys care?
I think that's fine. Yeah, go as we go. That's great.
Can you go back to
Sure.
that one?
Yep.
So you've got $500,000 at each year. Is
Yes.
that like? Is there a way to phase this in, or you're doing like the back one year and the front other, or is that?
So that's the idea, is that we're going to be taking sections of the building each year. So the first section to be done will be out in the front to take care of that front sidewalk, the front both rampways, and that front landing right in front of the main entrance doors. Where we're having a lot of ADA issues. We have one ramp that's currently shut down because it's not passable by ADA standards. So that one is shut down. We're completely using the other one, but there's more and more showing up and coming with that front entryway that needs to be dealt with. So the idea is, just like you were asking, Mr. Mayor, systematically we'll be going through. We'll take care of the front way first, the first year. Second year we'll be going to the back. West Terrace side, we'll be taking care of the stairs and the West Terrace where the planter is. And part of that is actually remove that planter, because we've determined that's one of the main issues, is the planter itself is holding water and dispersing it down, and that's causing a lot of the concrete issues that we're having with that side. So that is the ultimate goal, is to take portions of the building as we go through each year.
And this is the one area that the engineering firm is looking at. So these are just estimated costs.
These are estimated costs, but the engineering firm is looking at the entire building. So they came out, they looked at the front entryway, they looked at both the east and west terrace. We were on the roofs and looked at that. We looked at mechanical spaces, we looked at the mechanical systems, we looked at the wall on Toppins Lane that actually comes around all around High Street. We looked at the wall that separates the football stadium from the baseball field. We looked at everything and anything we could with Rimkus. So they did a full survey in the building. They also looked at interior of the building, floors, windows, all the aesthetics, everything, anything to do with the building. They were in, like I said, we spent a good 2 days walking through the entire building and evaluating everything.
Is that report kind of something that we could review, or is it?
Absolutely, yeah. It's
okay.
still in the draft form. They're
Okay.
still working on it, but yeah, when we
Yeah.
get the final form, it'll definitely be dispersed.
Great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay.
Any other questions on this item?
We can come back if people have
Okay.
ideas.
So the next one is the roof project. So actually, this is the next two. So the high school and the Knockmollen, we are still pushing forward. One of the things that has come up is that when we submitted back in the beginning in December to the MSBA, we were able to pull it back because we were able to do more square footage. So the initial project was looking at just the auditorium roof. Working with the MSBA, we're actually, able to look at the auditorium roof, the library roof, and then the two other sections of the east and west side where it's all highlighted in the red there. So we're able to do more roof with the MSBA. So we pushed our submission back from the December vote to the February vote. And we're going to be submitting all of our paperwork to them in the next couple of days to make that February vote. It does not affect our timeline, as I typoed in the note. I put in for the summer of 2027 construction, thinking FY27. It's really summer of 26 construction, FY27. So our timeline is still set for this summer to do the construction at both the high school and the Knockmollen. And that's what we're looking at those. So we're still on progress for those.
The number seems similar to as it was before, despite the fact
They're a little they are a little higher. They're similar, but they're still a little higher, and that's because we're looking at the cost of square footage.
I'm surprised it's not.
It's not exponentially. That was one of the things that, in working with our OPM engineering firm, which is why we pushed forward to get the extra square footage done.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
great. No,
Yep.
it's
We've received some notifications about extensions on deadlines. Is that related to this
That's what
one?
that was. So
Okay.
when we initially filed with the MSBA,
Yeah.
and they kicked it back saying your square footage is rough, you can do more.
Yeah.
We filed for the extension so that we could file in February and not miss out on this opportunity.
Fantastic, thank you.
Yep. So, yes, we are, still in good standing with the MSBA. And again, this is the Knockmollen. We're looking at the same thing, same roof portion. One of the things that we're still working on as far as the Knockmollen goes is the solar panels. There's about a 20% portion of the solar array that's on that whole building that needs to come off for us to replace that portion of the roof. So we're working with Amoresco, who we have the PPA with for the solar panels. One of the good things is that the cost that it's going to be for us to pull off the panels and put them back on is reimbursable from the MSBA. One of the things we have not heard back from yet, and we've asked numerous times, is when we pull the panels off, we are responsible for that lost generation. You know, the power that would have been generated from those panels, we are responsible for that portion. We are not sure if that's reimbursable from the MSBA or not. So we're still actively trying to get that information, but that is kind of the one outlier that's laying out there. So.
How old are the panels?
Mm-hmm.
How old are the solar panels?
We have about 5 years left on our PPA with Amoresco, and that's one of the things that we're evaluating, and I'm working with Molly from City Hall, our energy manager, on what's going to be the best process, and we're going to be taking all the numbers in. We don't have all the numbers yet. We have some basic numbers on what it's going to cost to take them off, but we don't have the number of what it would be to buy out that contract yet. So we're going to be evaluating all that, and we'll be working with our OPM as well as the engineering firm on, is it worth it? If they come out and say it's $300,000 as the final number to pull them off and put them back on, the MSBA reimburses 43%, knocks it down, but we're still, how much would it be just to buy out the contract, and what's going to be the cheaper price? Right now, the thinking is still that we're going to pull them off and put them back on.
So they have 5 years left on them, but how old are they actually?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay, no, I'm just
I don't
curious.
remember when that was done. I apologize, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's...
Yeah.
Solar is
They
a little-
degrade over years, and like I said, I know we do only have 5 years left on the PPA, and that's would typically align with the age out of those panels as well. So, and that is part of the discussion with Amoresco as well, the age of the panels, and what would be our next step if we were to just leave them off, pay out that contract, and then in 5 years, what happens then? So,
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions on that one?
The next one up is the Mullen Playground. That equipment it's slowly failing. This year alone, we had to replace the winding slide and the tunnel section on it. All the pieces over there are out of date. You can no longer get them, so what we're getting is newer pieces that will fit, but the structures and everything are out of date. It was, from my understanding, it was all structures and everything that was moved over from the old either Bresnahan or Brown School and kind of placed over here. One of the major issues we have over there is drainage because of where it's located on that back hill, so that tends to flood out, and with the mulch gets washed away. Causes an ADA issue and access issues, as well as safety issues because you don't have the fall heights anymore for your safe playgrounds. So we're looking to do that in FY30, but we're looking for money this year to hire the landscape architect and playground architect to come in and work with us on a new design to kind of push that forward.
So sorry, Mary.
Go ahead, no, go ahead.
The project cost is 272,000, but then down at the bottom, it's a different number.
So that's about what we're spending per year between mulch and replacing parts
Okay.
and all that stuff.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that 272,000 is the amount per year. The math doesn't quite work.
Oh, it didn't update up top.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. So the
Okay,
total cost
bottom,
is
the numbers on
yeah.
the bottom are correct.
Yes, the numbers on the bottom are correct.
Okay,
Yes,
and the 39.5 is for the design.
is for the architect and design. Yes,
Okay,
that's
great.
correct. Yep.
Thank you. Mayor?
I was going to ask, have you considered putting this as a CPA project and trying to do it all at once, or?
We haven't just because of the other projects that we've been doing
Yeah.
with the CPA.
What else, do you know what else you have going in? I don't know off the top of my head, but.
So we just did the basketball courts, and I actually was talking with Kim about this, and I can't remember what the other one we just put in for was.
I don't remember.
Was it something to do with the
be in
baseball
here?
fields?
It's nothing that's
Oh,
on.
we're doing the track. We put the track in.
The-
Yes, okay.
Yep. Yeah, it was the track and full field. Thank you, Mr.
Well, I would say if we can get the design this year, I would move that up to 2028 for construction and probably the CPA.
Again, in just trying to balance out the numbers over the years with all the different projects we have going on, and just being mindful of what the city's budgets are going to be looking like over the next few years with just the uncertainty, just trying to spread things out a little bit, and it also gives us 2 years to get the full design and make sure we can get it out to bid, and that we're bidding at the right time. Because sometimes with state bidding, you can get better cost estimate, better costs coming back from contractors if you're bidding at different times. Obviously, if you're bidding in April, your costs are going to be a little higher because everyone's already full up for the summer. But if you're bidding in January, February, when things are slower, you can tend to get some better pricing. So.
But you could potentially get the funding in 1 year and spend it in another year.
Yeah. Again, that was just trying to looking at balancing out what we're asking for in what years and with the city.
Has there been any thought to involve the Mullen kids in what they would like?
So-
Because this stuff is a little dated
Yes.
for that age group, in my opinion.
So that's always been something that I've done with previous projects with playgrounds. Is I've always involved the principals,
Yeah.
and usually what we'll do is we'll try to get a couple parents, a couple teachers, and a couple of students from each grade, and kind of get some ideas and work with the architect with that group. So we typically will put together a small committee to go through a lot of that stuff and try to get some ideas.
Yeah, and I just want to continue to float the Gaga pit, okay?
I was just waiting for you to say that.
Yep.
No, truly, the kids are,
Who had 655 for Gaga?
what? No, I mean, the cost benefit analysis, it is a lot less money than replacing that stuff. And it would be, it could be a big game changer out there. No, seriously, the kids in my neighborhood are like so all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the kids on the Bresnahan like theirs, so.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of a nice to have that go with them to the Mullen. Because as kids get older, the game changes a little bit in a good way. Yeah.
It's going to be our retreat event.
What, the Gaga pit? Have you guys ever been in a Gaga pit? No. No. You have not been in a Gaga pit?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Not knowing that.
You know?
I want to be with you in a Gaga pit.
It sounds right up my alley, to be honest. But
All right, thank you.
The next one, again, staying with playgrounds. The Bressingham playground surfacing, it's beginning to be really in rough shape. We were able to go out this past fall, and we were able to find a product that we could do some patch and repairs that we're able to do to keep it open. But it's failing at an alarming rate out there. So this is something that we're going to definitely be looking at to do. And it really needs to be ripped up. It seems like in the patchwork that we were able to do, it seems like the base layer is still structurally sound. It's just that top coat that's failing. So that's what we'd be looking at doing. That is for the main playground as well as the small playground that the preschool uses.
It's funny, it seems so recent that we
Yeah,
built that.
but 10 years.
My kid was in 3rd grade.
2014, yeah.
He's sophomore in college yet.
Yeah, it's really reached kind of its end of its life, and they are only good for about 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And then kind of back up to the high school.
Sorry, can I ask
yes.
one question about that, though?
Sure.
So if you were going to take like a longer view and looking at this, and I know you have done it by this, but you had the Mullen further down after the design.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you could put them side by side and they're both ranked medium, would you say the Mullen should get done first, or should the
No, because of the use that this playground gets on a daily basis and the age of the kids, this is really a higher priority than the Mullen.
Okay.
Yeah, I really hate to say that because playgrounds, how do you balance each one? But just the use that this one gets on a day-to-day basis, and again, the age of the kids,
Is this a definite replace with the same type of surface?
Yes.
Not a, like, put in a natural wood chip or something like that? We definitely need to.
I would stay with the pour-in-place rubber, yeah. And one of the things that's come out within the last couple of years with pour-in-place rubber is doing a seal coating and then continuously every like 2 or 3 years continuously use a seal coat, and that helps to preserve the structure of it so that it doesn't get that spalling and cracking and peeling in places. So that's something that we'd be looking to do on the maintenance side of things if we could get it replaced.
Okay. This is getting a little into the weeds, but just curious, is this the same type of surface that like DPWs now sometimes use around trees that's like can flex with the tree roots and stuff, but it's still a like soft surface? You know what I'm talking about?
It is. It's similar, but it's not the same. Yeah.
Because it's flexible. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I have one question with the,
Sure.
where it says estimated useful life 20 years, is that just wishful thinking or with this? kind of
With
coating?
the extra maintenance that we'd be doing on
So
it. Yes.
there is a goal.
Yes.
A goal of
Yep.
getting to that.
Yeah, and that's
20 this
estimated
time.
based on
Okay.
some of the research I was doing when I was trying to find a way to get us through at least another year of useful play on it. Some of the research I was doing was if you can start sealing it and using this other product that holds it together more and keeps it, from drying out and basically pulling itself apart, you can get almost a twice the lifespan out
Wow.
of it.
So we would be investing in the same product that we have now, but just taking better care of it, it sounds like.
Yep.
All right.
And the sealing product is fairly new within the last 3 or 4 years. It's something that they've just really started bringing out and recommending that you use on these surfaces. So
Great, thank you.
In the high school feasibility, still trying to push a lot of the renovations for the STEM programs and for the robotics club and the robotics classes and a lot of the new classes that they're trying to bring into the school. With the CTI tract and a lot of that. So trying to finish up a lot of the movement around to make the spaces available for those programs. So kind of spread this out over the course of the years to get that done, try to get that work done. So.
Could this be an NEF that we're thinking of, or is that another trust fund local grant? that we're
Yeah,
thinking of?
absolutely. And we've been working with the NEF. Like everybody knows, we just did the Media Lab project. We're working with them now on trying to move our College Career Center down, which will open up where that space is. We're also moving IT downstairs. So that whole corner of the building is going to be opening up the space. So we're working with them on what could possibly go in there and some designs and some usable space for that.
So I thought this was to do an engineering study of the whole building, but it sounds like we kind of already did that with.
This is more of the spaces. How can we best
Okay.
utilize the spaces and design the spaces for
Got
the
it.
classes we're trying to put in?
So, I mean, I appreciate that you're spreading out over multiple years, but it seems to me you just do that all at one time makes more sense. Like, if we could do it, wouldn't we do it all in 1 year? Because then you're kind of thinking about all the spaces at once.
The reason we kind of had it spread out is that as we move people from one section of the building to another and we open up another section, it's going back and looking at that space and saying, what is the best thing for this space? What can we do with
Like
this?
the plans change.
Right.
Okay.
Like once we move one group out from one area and we had this idea, we can put this in, but technically we keep switching.
Yeah, if we did it all at once, I mean, as we know, programs change and
Right.
ideas change. So if we did it all at once, the plan we have for a space now, 4 years from now, is going to be different.
Okay.
Right.
So this is almost like an on-call situation where, like, as needs arise, you're doing an additional engineering, architectural, space management type
Yes.
evaluation. Okay.
Yep. And it's to try to keep in track with what the needs for those programs are.
Yep.
Right.
Okay.
Again, flooring replacement. The school was done, how many years ago? If you go through the library, you can see it. There's,
Sarah.
tears. and this
Brian,
and the like.
Sarah, please.
Can we bring this up like January 6th and finally 2017 it was in this list? Come on.
So the idea is to take the heavy traffic areas that we're currently using, which would be the library and the main office first, and address those issues and get those up to date. And then in the next year, what are the outliers that we need to be looking at and get those updated. So.
Isn't the library one of the ones the carpet's been failing forever?
Yes.
Yeah. Would you guys ever want to use that same flooring that you have in the media lab, or is that just too harsh?
Not for a
Quiet
library.
space like
Not for a library. Yeah, I mean that's a good floor for other spaces, but not for a library because in a library you need the carpeting and the padding to absorb the sound.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Not for the front office either.
I
mean, it's pretty quiet.
You could, but I would still probably go with the carpet in the front office, but I would not do a rolled out carpet. I would do carpet squares. The new technology with carpet squares, they hold up a lot better. And if something does happen, you pull up one square, you can put a new square down. You're not replacing whole sections.
Yep.
You can place bits and pieces at a time as needed.
And you can do a cool pattern on it if you want to.
And you can do anything you want with them, just like a tile floor. Less maintenance though.
All right.
So
I'll sign up for that.
So one thing I guess as I look at this, I kind of struggle. I mean, this is always true with capital plans. Like, where does this fall under just basic operation and maintenance versus a capital expenditure? And so to me, carpet and flooring, that's something. I like your comment about trying to get onto a regular cycle because I think in terms of proactively budgeting for this every year versus relying on a capital expenditure request would be a more sustainable way to approach this.
And I think once we get some of these bigger areas done, we can do that.
Okay.
And as we're renovating spaces, we're putting in new flooring. For like Media Lab, for instance, right? The flooring put in there, it's a low maintenance floor. So that's another room we don't have to go in and do stripping and waxing over the summer. And as we do more renovations in spaces around the building, we're going to be doing the same thing.
Okay.
Get rid of that old VCT tile, put in a low maintenance flooring, and it's just less maintenance. Less chemicals we're using, less maintenance time in the summer. So we can be doing other things.
Okay.
So, yep.
Yeah, we've typically pulled some of our capital projects off this list when we had the funding within the district too.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Again, the auditorium, this is 2 years out, so this is after we get the roof done. We're going to go through, in structural repair, not structural, but, the plaster. All the plaster that was damaged is going to get scraped and repainted and fixed. Really trying to bring the auditorium back up to the showpiece that it should be. Once we get the roofs done and we can guarantee we're not going to have, water pouring in, at a random time, you know. But yeah, once the roofs get done, the idea would be go in and really go through that auditorium over a summer, do all the maintenance repairs in the ceiling, the walls, and really brighten the place back up again.
Is this qualified for CPA? Is the school building historic?
Well, I mean, that's the only part of the high school that is the same.
Yeah.
I don't know if it qualifies for historic though.
Okay. 50 years and older. That's good.
It
That's
might,
historic.
'cause, yeah, I've heard people talk about it in relation to the paint. You were talking about the paint has to meet historical standards, right?
The colors do, yeah.
The colors.
So we'll have to stay with the original historical colors. That is definitely something we'll have to do. We can use newer technology paint, but it'll have to be the same colors, yes.
Which is white.
Eggshell.
Arguably.
Yeah. I'm not sure of the tone of white, but it is a white. Yeah. Any other questions on that one? This is part of something we've been working with Rimkus on, whereas they came out and they looked at the boilers, they looked at the chillers, they've looked at everything. We also got a meta grant, and Weston and Sampson, which is another engineering firm, has also come out and looked at the chillers and the boilers. They're also going to be supplying us with a report on their findings. So we'll have two kind of independent agencies that have looked at this to come back and give us some ideas on kind of the best way to go. And this is something that Molly and I have been talking about, with the boilers and the chillers. With the amount of money we've been spending on keeping the chillers running the last couple of years. The last year and a half has been quite extensive, the amount of money we've spent on keeping them up and running. So looking to get rid of those, and whether we, do we replace them with a like in kind, or do we go with a new technology heat pump and get rid of the boilers, go with kind of a one system, is kind of one of the big options we're looking at. And with that, it also comes with grants from the state as well as from the utility companies. So we'll be taking a lot of that into consideration as well. Any questions? Okay. And that's it.
So I would say in general, looking at that, I mean, I would say the inside of our buildings are in pretty good shape. I mean, middle school is over 50 years old. High school's 1934, but redone in 1999. Bresnahan's fairly new, 2014. So
yeah, for the most part, the schools
Except for
are
like
in
the plaster
really
work
good
at
shape.
HS,
Again, it's just, the high school, it's got some wear and tear on it. The amount of use that building get, it's almost a 24/7 building, I mean, it's, with all the sports teams and after-school programs and plays and everything else, it does get a lot of use. And, you got, 800-900 kids going through there every day, plus all the staff. It takes a little bit of a beating. So, but, we've got a good staff of custodians and maintenance guys, and they work hard to keep the buildings clean and functioning. So we're very lucky on that aspect of things. But again, these are just a lot of things that, these are just failure points that come up in any building.
I think one of my concerns on the exterior is the parking area of the high school, which I think also it shows signs of a lot of use, and particularly in times of the year when there's snow or ice and people are parking on the sidewalks, and I've seen a lot of degrading of the sidewalks because there's large vehicles park on them during big events and things. So I don't know, have you and your staff thought at all about any improvements to the parking area out front and some of the
So
grounds?
that is going to be part of the RIMCA survey. So they did, like I said, they looked at everything.
Okay.
So I know that is in their survey, to do some milling and grinding of parts of the parking lot, as well as doing some seal coating.
Okay.
The sidewalks were are hopefully all part of what we can get replaced this year, if we can get through the CIP with that. When we do the ramps and everything in the front of the building.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and formalizing the parking areas so that people aren't parking on the lawn and all that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so that's part of that consideration.
It's all going to be part of that survey, yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did you get this or you get your own?
No, you can leave that.
Okay.
All All right, we'll move on to the budget update from the superintendent.
All right. You're
Oh,
good to
and
use
Mr.
this, right?
Manning, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so Mr. Manning and myself been meeting with all our budget holders and starting this year's budget. And for tonight, we just figured we'd give you guys kind of an overview of kind of where we're at and looking at some of our timelines and also, some of the budget areas as we develop. So I'll turn this over to Mr. Manning. There you go.
Thank you. So like Sean said, we want to take a moment to kind of update the school committee on the FY27 budget development. As we work to develop a student-centered, sustainable budget, we want to go through how we're aligning this with district priorities while balancing the rising costs that we know about in terms of special education, mostly out-of-district placements, known contractual obligations, whether they're from the union contracts or known operational contracts, and uncertainty around utilities. We could go on, uncertainty around the federal government, et cetera, et cetera. But of course, also pressure that we know about on the city side from the health insurance renewal, which is expected to come in another high year, like we saw for FY26. And of course, all that around the world of Proposition 2.5 in terms of what the city can collect in revenue. So all that said, naturally FY27 will certainly be a challenging budget year that requires us to carefully prioritize, what we're doing as a district and continue our financial discipline. So at the outset of the budget process, we reached out to all of our budget holders and provided clear guidance in terms of what we were expecting from them. Requests were expected to connect directly to student needs and district goals, including detailed and well-justified cost information and an identification of cost offsets where possible. So this is kind of the intentional decision-making process that we're working through to really make sure that as we evaluate needs, that we're also, looking at the potential trade-offs as we work through that exercise. So where we are in the process, of course, we started the process with listening to our stakeholders, followed by the joint budget meeting. We've as of today, we've wrapped up our initial meetings with our budget holders, including the school building principals and the district-wide budget holders. We're reviewing the requests and projecting known FY27 level service obligations. And then from there, we move into working to align that with the district's priorities and putting together that preliminary draft budget. And so when we talk about aligning the budget to district priorities, this slide illustrates the framework that we're using. Of course, looking at your portrait of a graduate, combined with the 5 strategic objectives, the district improvement plan, and of course the school improvement plans. Really all those come together to build what will be the FY27 budget. And in the next few slides, I just want to touch on each of those 5 goals to discuss some of the resources that we could potentially be discussing as we move into the 27 budget. So the first district goal, of course, student learning. The student learning goal talks about ensuring coherent, high-quality instruction as well as engaging learning experiences across pre-K to 12. So carrying out this goal will require things like curriculum and assessment resources, intervention staff and programming to support diverse learning needs, as well as opportunities to expand engaging learning, such as the playful outdoor learning that we've been talking about at the Bresnahan Elementary School. The next goal, of course, is instructional leadership, really focusing on supporting educators through coaching, teacher leadership, and district-wide coordination in literacy and math. This also includes professional learning as well as time for collaboration among our educators. The third goal, professional culture. This goal, of course, is fostering safe, supportive, and inclusive school environments. Budget considerations in this area could include things like attendance supports, resources for climate, culture, and SEL work, as well as any opportunities for student engagement. The family and community engagement goal prioritizes clear, accessible communication, as well as meaningful opportunities for involvement in the school community. So budget requests in this area could really include any communication platforms, of course, the website, translation and interpretation services, any outreach supports, as well as tools for gathering and responding to feedback. And then the fifth goal we have is management and operations, which ties right into the CIP very nicely in terms of what we need as a school district to support the instructional work going on in the classrooms. So of course, budgetary needs in this area include facilities and custodial staffing, preventative maintenance, capital, also technology investments, as well as any HR and finance systems, all that support effective district operations. So taken together, these 5 goals really, kind of give you a sense of what we're looking at as we work to build the FY27 budget, and it kind of gives us a framework as we go through each building, each district-wide budget, to really, help us focus on, okay, how does this align with each of the 5 strategic objectives? Yes, no, somewhere in between. So I think it's been helpful as we've gone through the meetings, and we'll continue to do so. And of course, here's the FY27 budget timeline, which is really a working document as we get through the process. So we've checked a few things off the list, but there's, of course, a lot more work to do, with the next kind of check-in with the school committee being that an initial draft of the budget in the next month or so. Any questions?
I was just going to say, I usually cover a lot of that, but it sounded better from Ethan, I think. I guess this year I took it off, took the presentation off. But I can't say enough about, as we all know, Ethan obviously brings tons of experience to this position, but I just want to say the way we're working in individual meetings, the way he collaborates and allows people to explain what they're looking for, and he's been a great asset to the team. So I want to thank him for all those individual meetings and really making people feel really comfortable on what they're presenting. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I do appreciate the clarity of and sort of checking in where we are on the budget timeline and reiterating that. I think it's both important for the folks, for us sitting at the table, but also folks on the public side, and then certainly the budget holders themselves to just understand where they fit into the process. So I think our next key review, at our next meeting in January, which won't be the 6th, will be the 14th, is the school improvement plans.
Correct.
Okay, great.
Yep, and we decided to move those for the new members, so they have a full understanding what every school is doing and what they're focused on.
Yep. Any questions for the finance director? All right, thank you, Ethan.
All right. Thank you.
All right, subcommittee updates. Finance subcommittee.
We've not met since the last time, and we are supposed to meet Thursday, but Mr. Manning, do we have anything pressing that you would like to talk about, or do we cancel that meeting?
I think we're fine from my perspective.
The rest of the team okay with that?
We were going to give you a big send-off. It's fine with me.
Ms. Yell, we will not be having that meeting on Thursday, if we can cancel it.
Remember, Bogart didn't say one way or the other.
Well, I'm in the minority already.
Yeah, he already knows.
I like those meetings.
3-1.
Keith and I are going to have donuts without you guys.
All right. Policy Subcommittee, Kathleen, Member Shaw, sorry.
Yeah, so I guess we'll wait till we have our new folks on board, whoever's gonna be, like, assuming those spots. And then we'll schedule a meeting in January for
Okay.
everyone's schedule.
Sounds good. And teaching and learning.
Our next meeting is on Wednesday. Our agenda is an update on the curriculum review cycle and DIBELS data, which is the early literacy screener.
Great. Thank you, Member Higgins. All right, that brings us to superintendent's report.
All right. Superintendent's report, this is a great picture of the Mullen Winter Concert, and it's probably the most crowded auditorium I've seen in a long, long time. And just credit Stephanie Phillips and our music department for continuing to enhance our music program, K through 12. So it was a lot of fun. Parents had a lot of fun, and tremendous talent, our musicians. We had our wellness advisory meeting. Our wellness committee meets 4 times a year, so this was our second meeting. And it's just really a joint meeting with a lot of community members, different community organizations, just kind of highlighting, some of the top topics that we were talking about. It was nice to have student-led Red Cross students presented. They now have 6 students that are actually fully certified, and these students are now going around the city and providing trainings for restaurants for free, which is really, really impressive. And Maddie Jackman, as we all know, really spearheaded this whole process. Continue to move on. The Massachusetts Consortium Innovative Education Assessment, that's the group we've been working with, has also been sending statements and working with the Governor's Board regarding the analysis of what the governor has come out with, with the tests and the standardized tests, and really kind of working with her and I think showing that board, different potential assessments, the performance assessment that, we're working with this group out of UMass Amherst. So it's a good group to be on. It's collaborative with superintendents and union members across the state, and really taking a look at the performance assessments and kind of how it fits. Our CREST collaborative, so this is the collaborative of that we're part of for special education out of district placement. So I'm part of that board, and just really kind of getting an update on their staffing, their enrollments. One of the pieces that we're working with them is membership or membership schools, having kind of like a priority, other than other districts. So the new director has allowed that the membership schools, when we need to have an out-of-district placement, that we would be, seen as a priority because we're part of the collaborative. January PD, myself, Dr. Abrams, and Lisa Furlong, we facilitated an amazing group of about 35 of our district CEL and ILT leaders throughout the district, and really they have led PD in the planning for that January full day professional development. And what we did is we utilized a vertical math team. They also presented what they did last year to the entire district, and I think it's just best practice of what different the teams or different departments can utilize, and taking a look at that data. So it was a great I think it was just a great meeting, and just really want to tip my hat not only to the principals in our central office, but also those teacher leaders for really taking on the challenge and really running this professional development. And I think they're kind of the cream of the crop throughout the district. They have a lot of clout, and they lead by example, our teacher leaders, and I just think it's going to be a great professional development with a lot of planning that's actually started back in the summertime with this group. We're part of the Human Rights Commission, and we had our meeting and just really starting to talk about some of the big events that are coming up, the Holocaust Remembrance Planning, IFTAR, Peace Prize Planning. It's such a great organization to be partners with, especially today's day and age, with some of the things that are happening, throughout the country, throughout, the world right now. Having a group like that is, I think, essential for all of us. We had a Governor Haley visit, and this was great in the sense of Jen Groskin and our social studies team at the middle school. The story behind the story is the governor was at a family gathering, and her nephew is part of this NOC project and was just really talking about the civics and I am we, and really just talking to the governor about how great it is. And her staff reached out to the NOC, and she's like, I'd like to be part of this civics project. Reached out to our staff, and on Friday she met with half the 8th graders for about a half hour, and then the other half, the second half for a half hour, and really talked about her role and responsibilities as a governor, and then open it up to questions from the students. So credit Jen Groskin, Principal Marcos, and his team for really having a great day. And then that same day, North Shore Superintendent's Roundtable, we had an opportunity appreciation luncheon that we got to recognize our extraordinary Executive Administrative Assistant, Joanne Yell. Who does not like to be recognized, but we'll just do that in public, on public TV. And then also Julia Olson, who's also been working out of central office. It's a great team, and we all know how important Joanne is to the organization, so we're very, very fortunate. And then also Lisa Furlong, got to recognize her for all of her work. So that's my superintendent's report. I do have the student report. It's not as long, but I can just highlight some pieces if you'd like. Because there's some important news here for like craft fairs and things like that. So the first thing, the students really want to recognize how great their superintendent is, Sean Gallagher. Oh, that's not, no, that's not. Bresnahan News. Teachers are hosting a family craft events and celebrations that highlight joy, creativity, sense of belonging that make the Bresnahan so special. So that's a great piece. Mullen News, the holiday door decoration tradition continues. So the students learn about the holidays, learn about different countries and how they celebrate it. And the school gets to participate in kind of a scavenger hunt and looking at all of the doors and kind of getting some historical value out of that. Also, our NHS students will be performing for the Mullen students this Thursday to celebrate the holidays. Knock Middle School, as we know, last Friday the governor came. I just reported on that. And the students are also looking forward to their holiday pep rally, which serves as a celebration of student hard work, positive behavior, and shared school pride. And then high school news, this Tuesday night, the NHS Performing Arts will present its annual winter concert. NHS band, orchestra, chorus dance, guitar jam, rock class, and the Clippers Up band. So if you're out, this is a great event. It's amazing the talent that's at the high school. And then last, congratulations to Kat McDonald, who's recently recognized by the Plum Fest organizers for the Plum Fest Musical Festival. This year marked the 10th anniversary of the festival, and Kat's poster design was selected to use to market the event. So there's the student update.
Super. Thank you, Superintendent.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on to new business. There are a number of items under this. We'll leave the best for last. Well, not really. We'll start off with, I wanted to just recognize also Ms. Yell in light of, we did a new member orientation. Two of our new members were able to join us, as well as Mr. Boger and Ms. Shaw and the mayor and the superintendent. But a lot of preparation of the packet that the new members got, and I really appreciate Ms. Yell doing that. There was a lot of back and forth at the last minute. So I think it was really useful, and Mr. Callahan was a physical binder.
I know, I heard all about it. That's
Yes.
why I wasn't there.
Anyway, but I really do appreciate that effort that went into that, and other staff as well, because Ms. Olson also came in to do a little presentation, and so it was really an engage, and Mr. Manning, so thank you all for supporting that. I think it was really helpful. The January retreat, we had talked briefly about this, and we can talk again at the next meeting. Potentially the superintendent and the mayor and I talked about doing that at our second January meeting, maybe starting early, doing like a 5 to 8. So in place of our business meeting, but if we have to, we can carve out, a vote on something if we need to. So it would be, I think it's what is it?
January 28th.
So I just wanted to throw that out there and see if anybody, Member Higgins, Boger, or Shaw, if you have any conflicts at this point.
I will not be in attendance.
You will not be in attendance, understood.
I have a conflict.
Okay, well, we'll think of you. But we'll double check with our new members as well. Mr. Berger, does that sound?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, so we'll make a plan for that. And then the other thing do you want to talk about the High Street meeting?
Got a couple things. Yep, High Street meeting. So a couple of you attended, but we had a High Street meeting last week upstairs, pretty well attended with parents and then some city personnel as well. Update to us, that meeting was on Monday. Friday, half day, was the day the bus took out one of the flashing beacons out front. So that was perfect timing. So I will say just an update on there. The city electrician thinks they can have that up and running by Wednesday at the latest. We're really hoping for tomorrow, but Wednesday by the latest, which is good news. I had sent out, we had heard from some of those parents and just some of the things we're going to try to do for the rest of this week. We will have a police presence out there, 7:45 to 8:15. And then also moving forward, I think when we come back in January, we're still going to be advertising for crossing guards. So if anyone out there wants a nice, chilly part-time job,
Fun part-time job.
Please reach out.
Interacting with students.
Please reach out to help out. Mornings and afternoons. But I do think we're really going to stress, where we only have 2 crossing guards currently that are working for the schools, and so we're really going to stress parents to be mindful of where those are and utilize those as like the route that we're encouraging people to go to school on. And I think superintendent's going to send out some more information around that sometime, I would say, before January 5th.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, so that's the update with that. And we're also going to be looking into some things as we get into January with the new council around taking some parking away at some crosswalks in the vicinity to increase visibility, and there might be some other traffic mitigation type things that we can do to make it a little bit safer for kids heading to the Pres. You want to do the thing? We'll
do the thing. Hold on. I do want to say I do appreciate the parents had some really good ideas, and there was also I thought everyone had good perspective. It wasn't just about crossing guards. It was about broader safety issues and recognizing there's some short-term things, but also longer-term things that need to happen. And I appreciate the parents continuing to advocate. Some really good ideas came out of that. I thought and I appreciate the mayor hosting it. Also the police, were there and part of the conversation. So I will share the notes. I took some notes and
I thought they were good.
Okay, and so I'll share those with everyone. And we also got some feedback, follow-up from some of the members, from the people who attended, just with some of their ideas as well. So ongoing conversation.
Yep.
But yes.
I have one more thing. So I also mentioned this last meeting, and I hadn't sent it out yet, so I'll send an email out tonight to all new members and carrying on members about committee assignments. I have kind of an idea, but I will reach out to everyone and let me know if there's one particular you want to be on, or you want to keep the same role that you had before, whatever. Just I'll give everyone a chance, and then I will share that before inauguration day of where I landed with that. But I don't know. think I did a good job. but I definitely want to hear from everybody first. Okay, so just to end tonight on a pretty quick meeting, we're losing 2 really wonderful members. I have citations for each of them. I don't know if everyone wants to speak, but I'll just say a little bit about each of them first. So the first one I grabbed is Sarah Hall here. Sarah's been on the school committee for the last 4 years. So the year I was elected mayor, Juliet and Sarah both got on the school committee the same time. Sarah jumped right on and was vice chair, which I don't think happens very often. So I just think that speaks a lot to Sarah and who she is, and really was really great with it and worked really closely with Sean those first couple years as vice chair. So Sarah, and it's also Sarah's birthday, so Sarah, happy birthday and congratulations. Actually, I'll give you this first.
Thank you.
Can we laud
Yeah, sure, we'll do that.
Yeah, I just want to say I've learned a lot from you. You took definitely being in that leadership role. That was tough. You were kind of up to speed on school committee business, but also trying to lead the committee, and you did a really great job. So appreciate that. I think you put some good practices in place that we hadn't had before, and I'm stepping into those shoes has been really easy because you had already forged that path. So appreciate that, and then all of your very constructive comments and contributions. We have a lot of things that we've achieved over the past 4 years that I think are to your credit. So really appreciate that.
Thank you.
I have another thing, unless anybody else wants to say. Go ahead.
I appreciate you being my wing woman. I really do.
I'm so glad we got to talk about Gaga Ball tonight.
But no, I mean, she's been very helpful, see around the community, and, if I have questions, you've been very helpful.
Yeah, and I'm not going far.
I know, but I'm going to miss you.
Yeah, well, I'll just say it's been such a productive and rewarding 4 years, and when I think back on our accomplishments, it's pretty great. I mean, we all started out wearing masks. Remember that? There was a state mask mandate, and all the flurry of emails from parents about the masks, and we were just developing the strategic plan, which now so clearly informs our budget process. So yeah, it's just impressive to think about where we've come, and I'm just going to be down the road with these guys and thinking about all of you and working with all of you moving forward. So
yeah, and I just want to thank you for all your efforts. And I think, when you first came in, we were dealing with some, masks and some other national challenges that we've had. And I think the collaboration, not only from you, but the rest of the school committees, I think what we've always did, and I think this is a strength of ours, is through some of the biggest challenges, if it's the national or any type of adversity, I think we've really just held together, and not let outside influences really lose our focus on students and families, which can be very challenging for school boards and districts. But I just really appreciate your leadership and really working through a lot of difficult situations. So I thank all of you, but also the vice chair, superintendents and vice chairs work very well together. So except for that vice chair over there.
Yeah. Be careful, he's next.
I know.
I'll just say too, I mean, obviously running for office is hard and being a public servant is hard. So when you've got someone stepping down from one board and then going to another board voluntarily, that speaks to both of these people as well. I know you both know what you're getting into. It's a much different world over there. Just, me and Ethan can tell you some stories if you want to hear some stories. But no, we're thrilled. And just to go on to Brian, 8 years on the school committee, another vice chair, FinCom chair. I think he ran for school committee because he was kind of a one-trick pony with late start times, but he turned into much more than that, I would say.
Multi-trick pony.
What?
Multi-trick.
Now he's got, who knew he had more tricks than just the one. But no, just.
That was a big one, though. I think that was pretty important.
That was pretty important, and I'm glad, thank goodness, because we got that accomplished pretty quickly after Sean joined us here as superintendent. But it also got you to run for office, and now look at you. Now you're going to be on the city council as well.
It's quite magical.
And brought us together. So anyways, again, you've been a wonderful school committee member. Again, never a dull moment. And again, I think you're even a better friend. So I'm glad you're moving on. And I think Ward 3 is really lucky to have you.
Thanks. It's been good. I like working with everybody. All right.
Hey, man.
It's been mostly enjoyable, you know? We had some pretty dodgy times there. That COVID was brutal. I was thinking about that looking back on like my school committee Facebook page. Like the large majority of it was COVID related stuff, you know? It was just crazy to think about. And then coming back into school, that was probably the longest, worst meeting ever in the history of school committee. But other than that, it's been grand. Working with you fine people.
I also say I've learned a lot from Brian and Member Callahan, and I appreciate your perspective. You also, I appreciate your communication. Brian, as many of you know, is very quick to pick up a phone and talk about an issue, and I think dialogue like that is really important. And sometimes we forget that, you know, it's about our relationships with each other is very important. And I think, you know, Member Callahan, that's a strength of yours, is that you often reach out. And whether you disagree with somebody or you agree with somebody or you just want to tell somebody what you think, it's a helpful way to keep the door open. And I appreciate that. And I think that's going to be something you're going to take with you to City Council, and hopefully we'll hear from you too, both of you.
For sure.
As you continue on.
Yeah, just once again, Brian always telling I hired that guy. But no, I think Member Callahan has his own style, and sometimes, you know, getting to know him over 8 years now, some people can look at him. I look at him almost like the movie The Grinch, where he comes across grouchy, but in the end, I think he's got the biggest heart and does more. Really, he does more for kids and families behind the scenes than anyone would ever know. And I really appreciate that about him. And after the 8 years, I as Sarah said, I think we've all accomplished a lot and really had to learn to work with one another. But I always say, I think in Newburyport, this school committee, Brian, Sarah, and all of you, we really put kids first and families first. We may disagree on how we get there, but eventually we get to the right place. So I appreciate that.
Thanks. It's been fun. Not that much.
I think it would be great to do a picture, but we
Yeah.
can, if we want, we can maybe adjourn first. We don't.
We have to go to executive session.
But that's right. So why don't we, let's see, why don't we take the photo and then vote? How about, or take the vote, I'm sorry, I meant that backward. Why don't we take a vote to go into executive session, take a quick photo, and then we'll go. Sounds good. All right, so I'll accept a motion to convene to executive session for the purpose of discussing possible litigation and/or legal matters. We will not reconvene in open session.
Second.
I got a first from Mr. Callahan.
No,
and a
I thought
second
you were gonna
from
do the
Mr. Member Hall. Member Hall, you want to be the first?
Oh, so moved.
Okay.
Second.
There we go.
I thought you were
All those in
making the
favor,
motion.
roll call vote. Sorry, Ms. Young.
Mayor Reardon,
Yes.
Juliet Walker,
Yes.
Sarah Hall,
Yes.
Brian Callahan,
Yes.
Brianna Higgins,
Yes.
Calvin Shaw,
Yes.
Vivian Bowman.
Yes.
All right, thank you. So we can.
Good times.
Yes, let's do a photo.